Welcome to episode 262 of the Mickeyphile Podcast. D23 2026 is in the books, and depending on which panel we were watching, we came away excited, emotional, confused, or wondering exactly what we just spent 2 hours watching. This week, we're talking about the good and the bad from Disney's biggest fan weekend. From an incredible 35th anniversary celebration of Beauty and the Beast, to what's coming in Season 3 of Percy Jackson, and of course the big one, the Horizon Disney Experiences Showcase. Figment and Dreamfinder are coming back. The Yeti might actually move again. We've got updates on Villains Land, Cars, Monsters, and more. But was it enough? Let's talk about it. D23 gave us plenty of new reasons to plan another Disney vacation, and the team at Royal Escapes Travel Company can help you plan yours. Email royalescapestravelco@gmail.com to get started.
Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Mickeyphile Podcast. I'm Scott, and with me, as always, is my lovely wife, Karen.
Hello, everybody.
So it was D23 weekend.
It was.
So we got to experience from Bay Lake Tower.
There could have been less pleasant places to watch it.
There could have, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
We had theme park view technically all 3 nights.
Technically, yes.
Actually, they were, right? We had
one was
first night was
preferred. Was preferred.
Okay.
Then the next 2 were theme park view.
So did we just, I don't know that. Did we just get lucky?
Yes, we got lucky because I specifically asked for a north side room on the room location. So that helped enable us to be able to watch the fireworks.
Okay. Because the first night, okay, we could see Spaceship Earth and probably like part of the castle.
Yeah, we could see like
definitely
the
orange light from
Astro Orbiter.
Oh, you don't? No, that was the next night. It was a really good view, though.
Yeah.
Of the hotel power plant, and then
yeah, it was a very good view of the power plant and the lake. We got to see the lake behind us without the super loud water parade.
So we were far enough around that corner because that has been a complaint about mine for 5 or 6 years now, I guess.
Yeah.
7 years, maybe. Probably 6.
6.
That the electrical water pageant is super loud.
Because it just echoes
back
off
there
the
off
buildings.
that lake. But where we were far enough around, it didn't come into that part of the lake.
Right.
So we definitely heard it like the second the last sound of a firework.
Yes.
The timing on that is crazy.
Yeah.
Once we closed the sliding door, we didn't hear it anymore.
Correct.
Which was okay with me.
Mm-hmm. But then the next 2 nights were amazing.
Yeah, the next 2 nights, we could see the castle. When I zoomed my camera in, I could see a log going down Tiana's.
Right.
From our room. We were in room 7918.
Correct.
Which technically overlooked the parking lot, but...
Yeah. But everything...
Could definitely see Space Mountain, Tron, Castle,
right,
fireworks, all that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fantastic.
Yes.
But Saturday night we did watch the fireworks because D23's live panel was late starting.
Yes.
By almost the amount of time that Happily Ever After takes.
Yeah. Pretty much. I think it was about 2 minutes. It started 2 minutes before it ended.
Yeah. So we did get to watch it from there, and we were kind of live chatting with some friends of ours. So that was very cool.
Yes.
It's like being in a group.
Uh-huh.
To complain about we'll get there, but the definite lack of rehearsal for the numbers before they came out on stage. Holy cow.
And we did get to watch the Halloween party fireworks from the room too, because we ended up rescheduling our Halloween party.
Yes. So that's coming up this week.
It's coming up Sunday night.
Yeah. So anyway, a couple of quick news items. And then we're going to talk about D23. Specifically, we're going to talk about the parts of D23 that we watched all of.
Right.
Which was the 35th anniversary Beauty and the Beast special.
Right.
The Percy Jackson season 3 announcement panel.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the Horizons Carousel of Progress, whatever it is, Parks and Experiences presentation
with Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah, and that Tig, what's her name, and Jack, what's his name, and some very interesting choices of musical guests.
Yes. Jack was funny, though.
Yeah. And he always is. He's actually a funny guy.
Mm-hmm.
So, Jack McBrayer or something like that.
Yeah.
So it was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so here we are. News items. Very quickly. One is luggage transfer is now going to be available at Caribbean Beach Resort. I feel like this is going to be coming back.
Yeah, this is now the
if you're doing it
resort.
In moderates and
values.
Mm-hmm. I wanted to say basic.
Yeah.
Knew that wasn't right. If you're going to do it in moderates and values, boy, it's hard not to offer that to deluxe, right?
I have a hard time understanding why they went that direction and why they didn't start from the deluxe going down.
I do too. And that's spoken as somebody who is never, ever going to use it because
we drive our car.
I just can't see a situation where I fly into MCO, even if I fly somewhere else.
Right.
But it's now going to be available at Caribbean Beach Resort.
Yes.
So there you go. If you're staying at Caribbean Beach, they will take your luggage to and from.
Yes.
I'm sure there's a charge for it. I have no idea, but at least it's available.
Yes. It is a available service now.
Yeah. The other thing, man, they're putting those garbage cans in everywhere.
Yeah. Well, okay. My first complaint, other than the fact that they don't have a flat top, so where are we going to eat in Epcot? Because you need tables. All right. Secondly, the openings are not big enough to actually, like, if you have a tray of food.
So they look like a library book return box.
So the door is not wide enough to be able to put your food in to it or your trash.
Yeah, it's fine for a water bottle, apparently.
Yeah, but not if...
There's one right next to where you stand for wheelchair at Tiana's.
Uh-huh.
So I've seen like 1,000 water bottles go into them.
Right.
Apparently they're trash compactors. That's what I was told.
Which, in theory, that's a good idea.
It's a good idea, except that then custodial can't pick the bags up.
Which...
Because you're putting way more trash in them than they used to have.
Yeah.
Which is good for not changing them as much, but really bad if you have to change them.
Right.
So that's interesting. For some reason, they took the one now off the platform. And Tiana's, we had one on the unload side. That's gone. First, it was moved to first we got the new can. Then it was moved into a closet. Now it's gone, and we have a 5-gallon bucket that we throw, when people leave a water bottle or whatever in a log. Now we throw the stuff into a 5-gallon bucket.
But that looks classy.
Well, it's in a closet. It doesn't look like anything, but I don't understand it.
Okay.
You have a 15-minute ride. People can easily finish a bottle of water in 15 minutes, and now they can't throw it out.
Right.
So it's interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a thing. But that is because they were just put in Epcot. The reason I'm thinking about those trash cans.
Yes.
They have taken out the not working almost never worked. In-ground lighting in the World Celebration Garden area.
That they managed to ruin like the first weekend.
Like the first time they pressure washed the ground. And apparently it ain't going to get fixed and come back because they're filling in all those grooves with concrete. So they are gone and gone for good.
Okay. I really liked, they were super cool when it first opened.
Days.
Yeah. It was very cool.
Apparently they also had a problem with some of them were just popping up out of the ground and
people were tripping.
So then they were running screws into them to screw them back in.
Right.
Yeah, it's been a mess. So they're gone now. Okay. Or mostly gone now. Will be probably by the time anybody we know gets there.
Right.
So there's that. It's a shame.
Yeah. It's a shame because it was a neat, it looked beautiful when it first started. And it was very cool.
It did.
So.
But.
I wish they had found a way to actually fix it too.
I mean, hey, just leave them in B mode for 20 years and then fix them later. We'll get to that. Rawr.
Rawr.
All right. Let's talk about D23.
Okay.
So it was 14th through the 16th.
Yes.
Right? That's Friday to Sunday. 3 days of mostly shopping.
Yes.
You know. And boy, were all the videos out of, look at all the stuff that I'm buying because of the stars you gave us on Facebook and your super chats.
Yep.
But yeah, there was a lot of shopping. The one thing about D23 is, and because they pull all the Imagineering stuff out, man, there is a lot of Sorcerer Mickey.
Yes, there is.
There is so much sitting on this desk that's from that stuff.
Yeah. I'm waiting for it to drop online.
Yeah, but there was a lot of merchandise. This time, instead of just putting it on YouTube as they have done in the past or on the D23 site, but basically on YouTube.
Right.
They put it on Disney Plus. So let's start with that.
Okay.
There were like 50 different panels during those 3 days.
Yes.
Right, at different venues.
Yes.
We got like 10, maybe.
Right.
I don't even think it's 10, but I'll say it's 10. So, honestly, I could have put it on and let it run all day.
Yeah.
Except you couldn't. Because it wasn't on. Like, there were just, the first night, so Saturday afternoon we looked, right? And it started on Friday. Saturday afternoon we started watching it.
Right.
There were only at that time 3 things up. Beauty and the Beast, Percy Jackson, and I don't even remember the third one because I honestly, it wasn't something I was into. Can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But
it was something that was only like a half hour.
Yeah. Yeah. And so it was a little disappointing because I feel like I've watched a lot more of it in the past on live on their website. For example, the Legends panel a few years ago that I happened to watch on a day when I think we were getting a hurricane or something coming at us, or at least a tropical storm. So I was home. But this time, the Legends panel, I guess, wasn't aired live, wasn't streamed live. So they kind of did it like the Olympics, from what I understand.
Yeah.
Like they did it in the middle of the day and then ran it at 6 or 7 o'clock that night as if it were live.
Yes.
I don't really understand that because it's streaming. Stream it out live.
Yeah.
And then leave it up there for people who didn't see it live. They can watch it later, or people who want to watch it again.
Exactly.
So.
And not just those, all of it.
Right. I like that they have, we'll say, episodes.
Right. So it blocked out that time.
Yeah.
Right.
But they've got these live streaming channels on Disney Plus, right? Kind of live.
Yeah.
They're just constantly streaming content. You just put it on and it just keeps going.
Right.
You could have done that for like the whole, here's the Honda cam, the Honda Center cam, here's the, whatever.
Right.
So I don't know why they didn't do that.
I don't either. It's not like it's not like 10 minutes after it happened, people aren't giving information out about it.
Right. And they need streaming minutes on Disney Plus, right? That's the metric is your streaming minutes, how much people are watching it. People would have put it on and let it run all day.
Yeah.
You would have gotten hours and hours of streaming minutes.
Because people just would have had it like, okay, that's not going to interest me, but I don't want to miss the next thing, so I'll just leave it on.
Right. So here's the thing, okay? So on their schedule on Saturday night, they started with, or at like 9, okay, so the Parks panel was at 10 o'clock Eastern time. At 9:30, they had the like Disney on Broadway deal.
Right.
Start. So I started watching that and then turned it off at like 5 minutes to 10 because I didn't want to miss the Parks panel, which didn't start until 10:13.
Right.
Although it was supposed to start at 10. So that was kind of weird, And I didn't get to watch the other one, or I didn't keep watching the other one. And I will be honest with you, have not gone back to watch it. So, and that's going to be a thing that I'm not going to go back and watch stuff. Just because, no real reason. And that's something we'll get into with Percy Jackson when we talk about that.
Right.
But I don't want to rehash. We're not going to rehash like every announcement.
Right.
There are literally like 100,000 people doing that this week. I want to talk about the good and bad impressions, not just of the announcements, but as we've already started doing, of the presentation.
Yes.
Because I think for an entertainment and media company, I think the presentation was a little lacking.
Overall.
Yeah. I mean, not just from the limited amount of content that you could get. At least they tried to do this the last time, a couple years ago, when they were at the Honda Center the first time.
Right.
And banned streamers, but then they had people streaming it because the truth is they want people streaming everything.
Yes.
And I understand they wanted to control the content by doing it the way they did it, but I wish they could have set up a few more cameras. Everybody had microphones. Everybody was plugged into a soundboard. It wouldn't have been that difficult to throw a static camera in each arena and just run the stage all day.
Yeah. I actually think they would have had a more positive audience experience out of it.
D23, the fan expo, right?
Right. It's for the fans.
It's the fan club, yes.
Yes.
So it's supposed to be for the fans, and that's how they bill it and all that. But it's like the big company rah-rah every year, really, because they do the destination one every other year here.
Right.
I don't know if it's living up to that the last few years.
It doesn't feel that way.
So if you go back, well, I'll hold off on that till we get to the Parks panel.
Okay.
Because I have thoughts on that. So the first thing we watched was the Beauty and the Beast 35th anniversary celebration thing.
Yes.
It had the guy who was, I don't remember names, and they're not important because nobody's heard of these people anyway, but
right.
The guy who was in charge of animating Belle. They had Don Hahn. He was a producer on Beauty and the Beast and just about everything else that Disney made that was good between 1991 to 1990, 1989, and 2010.
And who is an amazing person to see and listen to.
I told you before we started this, I'll watch anything that guy does. If it's a panel, if it's the Haunted Mansion getting ready for Christmas thing that they did last year on D23.
Mm-hmm.
They've took off of Disney Plus streaming one of my favorite shows, that Prop Culture, where basically he went around and bought props from old Disney movies and gave them back to the archives.
Which was amazing. And
toured the archives looking at other props that they still had. But he brought in, what was it? He had Mary Poppins' carpet bag, I think. He bought it like a garage sale.
It was her scarf.
Whatever it was.
Yeah.
I thought it was the bag, but maybe it wasn't.
Yeah. He had gotten the bag, but he also had the scarf. It was like 2 different episodes. And it was really...
Oh, he had a piece of the costume, but he hadn't found that. He got that from the archives, but then he took it to Tony, what's her name? That's her ex-husband that did the costumes.
Yeah, that's what it was.
But he found the bag in like somebody's attic and bought it from him and then gave it back to Disney.
Which I think is amazing.
Yeah, and it was such a cool show.
Yeah.
And then they took it off like as soon as they started taking stuff off Disney. That was one of the first ones. So I was like, that was the stuff I wanted Disney Plus for.
Right.
You know? I've got I've got 4 different versions of the first 3 Star Wars movies sitting in this house.
Right.
You know, so I don't really need those on Disney Plus, to be honest with you.
Right. But he's amazing to listen to on any type of panel.
Because he knows all the inside stuff, because he was involved in all the inside stuff.
Right.
So it was a super cool panel. They had Alan Menken and Susan Egan, who
she was
as Meg, but she was the original Belle on Broadway.
Yes.
It was a really cool panel.
It was
and they talked about a lot about the Broadway show. It was not just here's 35 years of this animated movie.
Right.
It included the Broadway show. It included, all of that stuff, the live action.
Right. And then they had the current Belle on Broadway come out.
Yeah, Kira Bell Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
And she and Susan Egan sang the theme song, Tale as Old as Time, that song.
Right.
Beautiful, Alan Menken teared up a couple times talking about Howard, whatever his name is, Ashman.
Ashman, yeah. They all do.
Yeah, they did. But it was fantastic. And they had these like old VHS recordings that they did of like, people singing in the studio or whatever, because it wasn't back then when you documented everything.
Mm-hmm.
They were doing it on their own. And it was interesting. He said they said they actually were doing it and then giving those videos to the animators, so the animators could then draw Belle the way Paige O'Hara was acting.
Right, and the way she was moving.
Yeah. So I thought that was super cool, like to see these old, grainy 40 or 30-year-old, 35-year-old Super 8, whatever.
Yeah, and watching how
VHS-C movies.
Yeah, watching how they, kind of walked through how she needed to speak and going to the singing, there was a couple of phrases that she just decided to say differently than what they had planned as far as in the script.
Well, it was the Gaston, you're simply primeval.
Right.
She must have said it 10 times. Different ways. And the one they took was the one where she laughed.
Yeah.
Or almost laughed.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny. She just kept saying it over and over. And then little things like when she was singing a song and that Howard Ashman, basically from his deathbed, had called in from the hospital and was like, more Streisand. And she knew exactly what he meant and then fixed the song. And,
it was what it is. It's what it was.
Yeah, but it was just more Streisand,
Yeah.
So it was really cool. And it's one of those things that Disney does really well, that Don Hahn does really well, the history of Disney. If he wasn't such a great producer, he'd be the greatest archivist the company could ever wish for.
Yes, very much so.
But
I mean, last year at the D23 destination, he was on like every panel.
He was on several, and mostly because, like I said, during that time, that 25 years, he touched everything that was a hit as a producer or a director or whatever he was.
Right.
Mostly as a producer. But yeah, he was on, the big one was the animated movies from like 2000, 2010 thing they did. So that was like the second half of his big Disney career,
Yeah, because it was Goofy Movie and all of those.
It was Tarzan and Atlantis and
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's New Groove he did. So he had, that's what it was. He did that one. And then they had, because it was an anniversary for Emperor's New Groove, they had Patrick Warburton was there.
Yeah.
As it turns out, he may have been recording, for all we know, he may have been here recording
he probably was.
The new Soren movie. But so they talked about, the two of them talked about that because, of course, they worked together on it.
Right.
Beauty and the Beast was interesting. They had started animating it and started shooting it and brought it in, and Michael Eisner was like, that's awful. So they bagged it and started over.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and say what you want, he probably was right, apparently, because it definitely was not wrong. It was the first animated movie ever to be nominated for Best Picture.
Right. So he obviously knew what he was talking about.
He may not have, been able to do it himself, but he knew if it was any good.
Very true.
I have heard that he rode Maelstrom before it opened.
Yeah.
And got wet and told them that it wasn't a Disney ride, which I find hilarious from the guy who then opened Splash Mountain.
Yeah.
But apparently that was a thing.
Yeah.
So, interestingly.
Unless he didn't feel Maelstrom should be the ride that you get wet on.
At the time, Pirates would have been about the only thing you would have gotten wet on.
Yeah.
Other than that. And it didn't have the air cannon splash it in the water and stuff back then. So
right. That's true.
But yeah, so they had to fix the drop on that because he got wet. But
it's funny.
The guy wasn't wrong.
No, he wasn't.
Until he was.
Until he was.
But that coincided with a heart attack and his best friend and business partner dying. So
right.
I guess it's understandable how your career might change at that point.
Exactly.
Beauty and the Beast, that panel, it was exactly what it should have been.
Yes, 100%.
They
had the right people on the panel and the discussion and everything else. That was good.
Yeah. It feels like every year now, well, it is. Every year is an anniversary for something because they do at least a movie a year. So every year is an anniversary for something.
Right.
But it feels like right now we're getting into larger ones for the great stuff.
Yes.
I don't believe we're going to see we might see a 10th for Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Although I hope not. But all the great stuff is 25 years old.
Right.
All the great stuff.
Well,
including Toy Story.
Right.
Right.
But then there was also, and this is my thought, is there are other ones, older ones that are celebrating very big milestones.
Alice in Wonderland and the rest. I mean,
and they really didn't address any of those. They did with merch, but that doesn't really.
Well, yeah. I mean,
they didn't need to have a panel.
But you could have had a D23. You could have had a day of panels on the 70th of Alice in Wonderland and the 35th of Beauty and the Beast and the
right.
So I understand why they didn't.
Right. That's what I'm saying. You didn't need to have
go back and watch Alice in Wonderland. It's weird.
It is.
It makes perfect sense with Johnny Depp in the remake. Let me just say that.
Yeah. So that's just my 2 cents.
Yeah. I don't think they would animate the caterpillar if they were going to do that movie now.
Right.
I don't know that the caterpillar makes the cut.
No.
Because he was totally...
Yeah.
It was fairly obvious.
Yes.
And the way they drew it with the words and the smoke and all that, it was...
Oh, very much so.
Yeah. Yeah. So, anyhow... the next thing we watched, that thing lasted like 54 minutes. It could have lasted 54 hours. I'd have been happy.
Yes.
But it was 54 minutes. The next thing we watched was Percy Jackson. It was the season 3.
Right.
I loved the 2 Percy Jackson movies.
Yep.
And I know that there's a whole series of books, and the books are supposed to be better than the movies, and the TV show is a lot more faithful to the books.
Okay.
Which is good. So they've got a few more years left in them if they want it.
Right.
But I was very excited when the TV show came out. We watched the first season like in a weekend.
Yeah.
In a couple of days, we watched it all.
Right. And I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And then you got to wait around a year and a half or 2 years for the next one.
Right.
And then we never watched season 2 because we got into other things that we were watching. And now season 3 is coming out. So we watched this panel and I was like, man, I got to watch season 2.
Right.
Can't do it right now because, we're busy, blah, blah, blah. And now it's been 4 days and we're home, and I don't know. I'll get to it eventually. Maybe when season 3 comes out, we'll watch season 2.
Right.
So I don't know. It was very rah-rah, and it was entertaining to a degree. It was kind of a weird panel.
Yeah, I thought it was very chopped up as far as the way they were talking about things.
Yes. They jumped around a lot.
Yes.
Obviously, they didn't want to give any spoilers, which I understand.
But then they started to give spoilers.
But then they did because they're a bunch of kids.
Right.
They
don't know they don't know when to stop.
Right. Like there was one kid up there that's like 11 or 12 years old.
Yeah. And actually, I was impressed that he tried to keep his secret as much as he could.
He did.
Right.
He did. But it jumped around a lot. And then it had this whole weird thing that was, I don't know if Tiger Beat magazine is still out there, but it felt like, what kind of car would Luke drive?
Yeah.
Where would Percy take Annabeth on vacation?
It was weird questions. It was.
And like they'd put the guy would read a question off his card, but a different question was on the screen. And then he would say what the answer that the voters gave was, but it was a different answer on the screen when they got the right question up there. So this lack of rehearsal thing was not just isolated to the Horizons panel.
Right.
They had a lot of issues with it. And I don't know.
I liked how it started, but then it just went kind of like, it just detoured somewhere.
Yeah. If you're a true believer in Percy Jackson, you're going to be really excited about season 3.
Yeah.
If you're a casual viewer, I don't know that panel did anything, but I understand why. Like, for one thing, other than The Mandalorian, has Disney Plus had a show that went 3 seasons?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No, I think you're right.
Not counting Bluey or something, which is even Disney content.
Right.
But, so it is kind of a big deal, and it probably gets a ton of viewers. For teenagers, it's got to be fantastic.
Oh, yeah. Very much so. I
love Greek mythology, and I love the idea of the Greek myths playing out today. There is a show on Netflix called Chaos with a K.
Uh-huh.
Kaos. It's got Jeff Goldblum and then a whole bunch of people you've never ever seen in anything, but it was fantastic. So good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the same deal. Like, if the gods were still alive today and still being worshipped today, by the way, like it was.
Yes.
Not just like they were living in hiding, like they were being worshipped and out in the open and doing miracles and all the rest of that.
Right.
So it was that's a really interesting show. I love that kind of stuff. I will love Percy Jackson if I remember to put it on.
Yeah.
And watch it again. That's the thing. Like, I love Ted Lasso, but right now I watched the first episode of season 4 and found out it's only coming out every Wednesday.
Oh.
And so now I'm not watching it because I don't want to do that. I don't want to watch it once a week. And so now I got to wait for a few more weeks for that to come out, or at least get far enough ahead I can watch a few in a row.
Right.
But I don't know. I've got to get into Percy Jackson again, I guess.
Yeah, we need to. But yeah. I mean, it had some very good parts.
Yeah, so I liked the idea of celebrating the fandom of something that, I just don't know. You don't see Percy Jackson merchandise in the shops.
Right.
In the parks, for obvious reasons. And I don't know if you ever will.
Right.
But I like the idea of having that kind of thing for fans of something new.
Yes.
I just think, so if you were making that for the Disney Plus audience, I guess it makes more sense. I just feel like the fandom of Percy Jackson is going to be a lot closer to the age of the actors.
Yes.
And those people were not paying $400 to get in to D23.
Correct.
Right? There were not a ton of 14 and 15-year-olds there.
No, not at all.
For that.
Right.
So if you were making that panel for the Disney Plus audience, which they may have been doing, I understand it.
Yes.
But I like the idea of that panel.
Oh, very much so. I think it's
the
needed.
Execution,
yeah.
I don't think was great, but I like the idea.
Yes.
Then I watched, you were sitting outside. I watched, like I said, about 25 minutes of the Disney on Broadway thing.
Uh-huh.
It was great. Except Josh, whatever his name is, Strickland or something, right?
Yes.
Bro looked like he was going crabbing.
Yeah, he did.
Or like he had, what do you call those pants? They're not culottes, are they?
Yeah.
+4s.
Yeah, that's
knickers.
They were what, 6 inches off the ground?
At least. They were 6 inches above the top of his shoe. And bro's ankles have never seen the sun.
No. And not wearing any socks.
When he first came out, and I said this in our little text chat, when he first came out, I thought he was wearing white socks with high waters. And I was like, what is this dude doing? And then they did a close-up, and I'm like, holy crap, it's his ankles.
Yeah.
And then I couldn't get past it.
Yeah.
Like, bro, wear long socks, like wear long pants.
Long pants or, wear socks.
Yeah.
Something.
Oh, my Lord. It was just so distracting.
Very much so.
So,
yeah. And then the one other thing, the singing was amazing. However, they kept doing little parts of songs in one big song.
So they did that first.
Yeah.
Right. So they did part of Be Our Guest and part of Friend Like Me. And I don't remember if there was I think there was at least a third song.
Right.
But they didn't do like chorus and verse and then go into the next one. Like they did a chorus and then they would do the verse of a different song and then come back to the verse of the first song and then do the chorus.
And you actually had to stop and think, what song are they singing? Yeah,
it was kind of weird, but it was fine and it was very good. And, and all 4 of the people up on stage were great.
Yes.
And then they had Susan Egan come out and did whatever the Meg song is,
Yeah, the love song.
Yeah.
Yeah.
she still sings great. So does Jodie Benson.
Yes.
Paige O'Hara has gotten old.
She has.
I think looking back, she was significantly older than Jodie Benson was at the time, or at least seemed to be.
Yes.
But Jodie Benson, when she's around, man, she still sings great. Susan Egan still sings great.
Mm-hmm.
I wish she'd have gotten her wish to play Mother Gothel in the movie, but...
Well, I do also think she's hoping for Broadway, too.
Yeah, she could do it on Broadway.
Yeah.
If you do a Rapunzel on Broadway. Mm-hmm. Tangled.
Yep, Tangled on Broadway.
On Broadway. Which would be a good one.
It would be.
So, we watched 25 minutes of that. I don't really know how it ended. Well, I do. They got to the last song. And
yeah.
they left. But I don't know what else they did. We didn't watch a lot of it because the panel was coming on. And then the panel didn't start. It didn't start. It didn't start.
Right.
So 10:13 is when it was. I looked at my phone because I had made a comment that I wonder if they're going to wait till 10:18 when Happily Ever After ends so everybody can go back in their room and watch it.
Right.
They didn't do that. Neil Patrick Harris. It was really good to see someone who didn't work specifically for the company.
Right.
Kind of does, but not really, you know.
But that is a huge Disney fan.
But who is a huge Disney fan. And then they had John Stamos came out at one point, and they made some jokes about, he's like, so I'm going to get out of here because there's an auction, you know, down the hall. And he's, oh, there's an auction? I didn't know anything about the auction in room 1004 at, you know.
Yeah, starting at 6 p.m.
Yeah. I got to hear that story firsthand about him winning the Disney sign, John Stamos winning the Disneyland sign.
Yeah.
As it turned out against Neil Patrick Harris. And he says he won it because his ego got in the way. And it just became I'm not going to lose this, you know?
Right. And it's in his backyard, right?
It's in his backyard. Yeah, that's crazy, right? Crazy. But yeah, apparently they get stuck bidding against each other a lot.
Yeah.
For things. Wonder who's going to get a Tom Sawyer raft.
Yeah.
Because apparently there is, and maybe it's right now. I guess it is right now. There was an auction of some actual like ride props and stuff.
Yes.
All the stuff that's in Cast Connections that they won't sell to us.
Right.
But dang it.
Yep. Well, I think I saw a couple things like they had one of the Big Thunder Mountain cars. And it was going for like, you know, almost triple digits, almost, you know, six figures.
Yeah, I guess I can see that. I don't really understand why, but I guess I can see it.
But I like that he was the main person just because of his fandom.
Yes.
Of Disney.
Yeah, exactly. And he did costume changes and
yeah.
You know,
he was having fun.
He was. So it started off, he, you know, did the typical thanks everybody for coming and thanks to all the cast members and all that. And then they did a song about the lead in was everybody has that perfect role in the park that you're made for. And mine would be an animatronic, you know. And there was a part of it that was all about servos breaking and, you know, the whole thing, which was, I don't know. It was, I mean, I guess in retrospect, it was a little foreshadowing.
Yeah.
So it ended up being funny. He lost his place in one. He started at the wrong time on the wrong verse at one point and was able to get back to it, but it was a little awkward watching it at home.
Yes.
Maybe in the arena they didn't even notice.
Possibly.
But watching it at home with the close up on him and all that.
Right.
We noticed.
Yeah.
And it was not the first thing. There was. I'm not sure that everybody who came out knew what was going on.
I would agree with that.
You know, or else some of those people are a lot better actors than I think they actually are.
Yeah.
So it was a little weird. The stage was supposed to move out for Sheryl Crow when she sang.
And it didn't. At first. Then it ended up coming out.
Yeah. But she looked like she wanted to be anywhere in LA other than where she was.
Right.
Which is super possible, I guess. And then, dear God, they had Beck come out and sing.
Twice.
And I don't know. Some people should just talk their way through songs.
Right. But I did really like the whole Carousel of Progress thing because he sat down, he sat in the chair and did like the Carousel
It was
of
a
Progress
recurring
voice.
bit where he would talk like the old guy and, like he was talking
about
doing the Carousel of Progress, being dad.
Right.
So that was a cool, like I said, a little recurring bit there.
Right.
Announcements.
Yes.
They talked about the new ships, which they said that a week before D23, so it wasn't really news. Although we did get news that it's going to be like a mid-sized ship.
Right. It's going to be between the Magic and class and the Dream class.
And I've also seen since then, and apparently is going to have floor-to-ceiling windows in the atrium.
Yeah.
Which is kind of neat.
Yeah, so you could look out.
Yeah. Also could make that atrium 1,000 degrees.
Yes.
But I think that's kind of neat. And it's going to be, I'm guessing, somewhere around 3,000 people because the Magic and the Wonder hold 2,000 and all the rest hold 4.
Right.
So I'm guessing that it's going to be somewhere in that 3,000 range. They said it's going to open up more ports that they haven't been to. So that's cool.
Right. Because the other ships are, the Dream and above are too big.
Tinkerbell on the front. Moana on this for the Believe. That's the next one coming out.
Yes.
Moana, the statue inside.
And then Buzz and Woody.
Buzz and Woody on the back.
Right.
So.
Wasn't sure how I felt about Buzz and Woody on the back.
I feel like 2 of the 3 are a little bit of a stretch for the Believe theme, personally. I think there were other places to put them. I think Moana would have been better on the Destiny. Maybe not the Treasure, but on the Destiny, I think she would have been better.
Yes.
Right. They tried to say her movie was about believing in yourself, but I really feel like it was more fulfilling your destiny.
Yes, I would agree with that.
But, they're trying to tie it in.
Yeah.
With the fact that they're trying to sell everything Moana right now because that's what they're doing.
I am excited about the news.
There was a lot of news, parks updates for Walt Disney World specifically.
Yes, which...
There was stuff that was announced 4 years ago and then announced again 2 years ago. And...
announced again.
Yeah, but we didn't get any... Did we get anything? Villain's Land. That's the name of it.
It was already called Villain's Land. Everyone was calling it Villain's Land.
Everybody who doesn't get paid to be an Imagineer has been calling it a Villain's Land for 4 years.
Right.
So I don't know that's some huge thing. Now we did find out the Maleficent ride, the Magic Mirror ride.
Right.
So that's cool. We got some information. Monstropolis is going to be opening in 2027, but not the roller coaster.
Right. They're opening it in phases.
And other than that, the pizza place, Pizza Rizzo, is going to be a pizza place.
Yeah, Pizza Planet. No, pizza something or else. Yeah.
Yeah. And Mama Melrose is going to be a restaurant. So that's just retheming restaurants,
Right.
And I guess maybe they'll open up the stores. I mean, there's not much else to do there. So.
And they talked briefly about Tropical America, but not too much about it.
Yeah. They showed us a concept drawing of the ride. They showed us some of the animals again that are going to be on the carousel.
Right.
They did talk a lot about the Indiana Jones.
Yes.
new attraction, that Harrison Ford is going to be the actual model this time. And,
right.
And all that. But no dates.
No.
Right?
That was the biggest issue I had.
We didn't get any like real updates for anything other than the monsters.
Right.
On dates. They're going to fix the Yeti. Don't know when.
Right.
And apparently they are fixing the Yeti, which means it's going to be in place fixing the Yeti.
Yeah.
Not like replacing it with one that works, fixing the one that's broken.
Right.
Finally.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to get a update to Spaceship Earth.
Yes.
Which we knew about already, and which was announced during COVID.
Yes.
So,
So when everything...
But still no word on when.
Right.
No word on when the new update to Figment is going to happen.
Right.
No word on the Yeti, date-wise. Carousel Progress, we did find out it is going to be voiced by Jamie Lee Curtis and Bryan Cranston.
Yes.
I guess that's cool.
Yeah.
Sure.
And they did give us a time frame on that.
Yeah, that's not going to be too long. I don't remember what it was.
No, I think it's spring.
Long.
I thought it was spring 2027.
That sounds right. Because I think somebody even said, well, that could be May, right?
Right. But we'd already known that ahead of time that it was going to be around that time.
We didn't know the actors.
Right.
But we did know
a time frame.
Yeah.
Right. But not having dates is...
Not having dates was bad.
Yeah.
Especially when it's stuff... Villains Land.
Mm-hmm.
Josh started talking about Beyond Big Thunder Mountain.
During COVID.
4 years ago. A lot of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The Cars expansion. We got to see the rides.
Yeah.
It looks like we're getting the same rides Disneyland already has.
Yes, except they're making it a wilderness theme.
Right. But it looks like we're getting another version of Alien Swirling Saucers or the Mater ride out there.
Right.
And it looks like we're getting
Radiator
Springs, or what I think it might be is Outside Dinosaur, because it's supposed to be off-road and bumpy and all that.
Right.
I think it's more likely to be off-road or outdoor dinosaur. And they do say that it is going to be able to work in the rain.
Okay.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah.
But it does make me think it's probably more like outdoor
dinosaur. Okay. I'll take that as long as it doesn't stop in the rain.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. So, although if they put Radiator Springs in there,
yeah,
then maybe we could get rid of Test Track and put in something cool.
Yeah.
Gloria Gaynor, for some reason, saying, "I will survive."
Right.
Right. She's 82 years old. She belted it.
She
sounded great. She sat in a throne the whole time.
Which, fine.
Yeah.
She sounded amazing.
It just makes me wonder about her health because she sat the entire time. But it's fine. She sounded great. I don't know exactly what it had to do with Disney, but...
Yeah, I'm not sure.
But it was there.
Right.
And it happened. Mm-hmm. So that was fun. And then, like I said, Sheryl Crow and Beck, less fun, and then way less fun.
Yeah. I
would rather they leave the musical numbers out.
Yes.
And just give us the information.
Yeah.
I know we want to overpromise or underpromise and overdeliver. And so if we don't know it's going to be spring of 27, don't say it's going to be spring of 27. Mm-hmm. Guardians and Tron kind of bit him in the ass with that one.
Yeah.
I think we should have gotten more information than we did for projects that they've been talking about for years.
Yes. Or that are currently in progress.
Right.
If they hadn't broken ground on something, sure, I understand you not giving us a time frame.
Right.
But you're physically in progress of building this stuff. You better have an idea of fully what it does.
And it wasn't just Disney World. I mean, we're a Disney World podcast, so that's what we're talking about.
Right.
But then they come out and they're like, we're going to redo Tomorrowland at Disneyland. And good night.
Yep, that was it.
Actually, it was. We're going to redo the Tomorrowland in Disneyland. And now let's talk about the Yeti.
Right.
We're going to fix it. Good night.
Yeah.
That was it. No dates for either.
Yeah.
Just like afterthought throwaway stuff that if you hadn't had Beck butchering some song, you could have talked about for a minute.
Right. And it's almost like instead of saying this blue sky, what would you think of this? We're just going to say this with no idea as far as time frame or any of things.
Okay, they're not going to blue sky again because that was embarrassing.
Yes.
And they got blown up for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, by the fans, they got blown up for it.
So instead of doing that, they're giving us information without giving us any information.
Right. Right. So the parks panel, I honestly, if you're going to come out and give us rehashes of projects that we've been talking about now for 3 of these in a row.
Right.
And not give us any information about the stuff, issue press releases the week before.
Right.
Just go, here's what's coming up this year in the parks. You know, here's 2 new announcements. Yeah. And don't tell us about stuff 4 or 5 years in advance. Tell us, hey, 3 months from now, Carousel of Progress is closing because we're going to redo it.
Right.
You know, don't do what you've done with Spaceship Earth and start telling us in 2020 that you're going to close it and redo it. And now we're in 2026, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, now on the one in 2020, they had given us a date and then everything shut down.
Which seems like the perfect time to do it.
Right.
But
because
let me just say, construction work didn't stop. Right? When the world shut down, construction work didn't stop.
I thought it did for a while.
Maybe at Disney.
Yeah.
Overall, construction companies were working.
Right. But Disney stopped.
And some of it maybe because they were sure tearing up the street and moving palm trees across from the golf course when we were out there playing golf.
Right.
You know, now I also understand, do you want to take on a big project like that when you've got God knows how long of zero income coming in at the one moneymaker in your company?
Right.
But yeah, it, you know, just more information when it's something we've been promised repeatedly would have been nice.
Right.
Whatever.
Yep.
It's just a fan.
Yep.
So the big question.
Yeah.
You watched all that.
Yep.
Are you more excited about being a Disney fan?
I don't think it changes my fandom.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I think it's gave me excited about a couple of things.
Specific things.
Okay. Yeah. Like Yeti, and we already knew about Carousel. I like the fact that we actually have the types of rides that are going to be in Villains Land. Even though it was pre-announced, a little bit more detail as far as how Cars Land is going to be.
Right.
That part makes me excited, you know.
Yeah.
Does it change me being a fan?
You didn't get the big rah-rah?
No.
I think that as bad as I wanted it to.
Oh, I really wanted it to.
I think that some of the stuff we watched was so awkward that it took away from it.
Yeah.
You know, instead of paying attention, like the 2 Imagineers they had come out, the one with the blue hair and the other one.
Yeah.
And the one with the blue hair basically was repeating what the other one was saying.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, like they had actually rehearsed their answers and then the other one was taking her lines or something.
Right. And it's one of those silly things. She kept saying, well, you know, I've been traveling over there a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, okay, you're working on an Asia project. That would make sense that you're traveling there a lot. Why do you have to tell us so many times you're traveling there a lot?
Right.
And I know that sounds petty, but that's one of the things that kind of irked or annoyed me about it.
Well, you want to know something that irks and annoys me? It doesn't irk or annoy me. It annoys me a little.
Okay.
They fired Joe Rohde during the pandemic.
Right.
Right? They got rid of him.
Right.
Like he didn't retire. They fired him.
Right.
And yet he's back all the time.
Yeah.
Here's another thing. So I guess experiences counts because Disney Plus is in experiences now.
Right.
Or consumer products.
Which is parks and experiences.
Okay. So it's part of the experiences.
Right.
I believe. The Imagineering story season 2.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If you bring something back 7 years later, actually going to be 9 years later. Holy cow. Is it really a second season or is it a sequel?
Right.
But they announced, that was like a big announcement.
Yeah.
That the Imagineering story is getting a second season and it's going to be out in 2 years, 2028.
Yeah, it's not going to be out till 28.
So 9 years after the original one.
Right.
And which is kind of mind-blowing that we've had Disney Plus now for 7 years.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It seemed like the wrong place for the announcement to me.
Yes.
And not a very big announcement.
Right.
But I am glad it's coming back. It's a really interesting show. And
very much so.
I like Leslie Highworth's stuff. So
yeah.
That's good. But again, just, I don't know, a little awkwardness to everything. So I guess that's going to do it for us.
I guess so.
All righty. That's 262 down. If you like the show, head over to Apple or Spotify. Leave a 5-star review for us. If you want to follow us on Facebook, just search for the Mickeyphile Podcast. There's a page and a group over there, either one. Instagram and TikTok, we are at Mickeyphile_podcast. Gmail, email address is Mickeyphile Podcast, all one word, at gmail.com. Stay in the dang boats.
Thank you. Good night, everybody.